CustomShirtInc.com. Screen printing in the digital age. CustomShirtInc.com. Phone 888-626-7636. Good morning weather forecast. Mostly sunny skies today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s and light southwest winds. 20 to 25 tonight. Light winds, mostly clear skies. A nice warm-up Friday, mid-40s, mostly sunny. Even warmer Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, in the mid-50s. There is a chance of rain showers Saturday night and Sunday, maybe a rumble of thunder on Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy, near 60. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. A bus fire in Kazakhstan has killed 52 people, according to the country's Interior Ministry. The UK government's promising to spend an extra $60 million on boosting Channel border security. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's in Mumbai meeting business leaders and Bollywood celebrities amid strengthening relations between India and Israel. And a Russian diplomat described the US's decision to label another Russian media outlet a foreign agent as an attack on liberties.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to this chilly day. Today, you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Harden, and my special guests in the studio today are Dr. Marty Allen and Mrs. Jill Carey. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
These ladies, in case you've missed the couple shows, they have been here before. They are from the Arkansas State University Museum, and they're going to be talking about a very special exhibit that's going on right now. It is called Sorting Out Race, Examining Racial Identity and Stereotypes in Thrift Store Donations. So this is a short show, so I'm going to let them have at it and give you all the details that they're willing to share, because they want you to come out to the exhibit though, so they're going to give you some little teaser details, so go ahead.
All right, well, this exhibit, Sorting Out Race, is very interesting and perhaps surprising, because it actually focuses on racial caricatures. These are the images that you'll see that are offensive to many people. The point of doing this, and you may be wondering, is to help make people more aware of racial stereotyping, and really any kind of stereotyping, but especially racial stereotyping, which is so harmful in our society.
Okay.
So that is the tack we're taking, and this is a loan exhibition from the Kaufman Museum at Bethel College in Kansas, and they had collected things from, they were actually contacted by thrift stores in the area saying, oh my gosh, people keep giving us these like offensive images. For example, we're talking about things like little ceramic figurines of mammies. Mm-hmm. We're talking about figures of sleepy or lazy or drunken Mexicans. You know, looking at, you've seen these things, they're all over, right? And for perhaps decades, some people have thought these were cute or something, but really, you know, it's not quite as easy as that. There are a lot of issues that surround this. So once these people from the thrift stores went to the museum and they said, what are we supposed to do with these? So that's why we're talking about racial identity and things from thrift stores. Shall we throw these things away? Shall we sort them out, or do we resell them? What should we do? And that's what this exhibit is about.
Mm-hmm. Can I just interject? I want to say I thank you all at the museum, because this is not the first of this kind of exhibit that you all have done when it comes to race relations. So thank you so much for highlighting the issues that are right in our face, and some people want to cover it up, but you put it out front and center and said, let's have a discussion about this.
That's exactly what we want. We want the conversations to begin. So, you know, the exhibit itself is very attractive.
Okay.
It looks like a thrift store.
I'm looking at the picture online. Yes, it does.
In the front window, you're looking at the front window there. Not everything in that window is, it has a stereotype attached to it. For example, the dress. That's just a dress.
Okay.
Okay? There are dishes, that are pots and pans. I mean, they do not have a stereotype attached to them. But, if once you look a little bit closer at the items, you start to see what we're talking about. And then as you move on in, you can go inside the door. There's a little bell that rings. And then as you walk on through the thrift shop, you see and actually read about what you're looking at. And some people look at things and they realize that they're actually learning something. They had never thought about things in that way. So
all right, so we would strongly advise everyone that's available to go out to this exhibit. How long did it take to put it together?
That was a well-oiled wheel when it came to us. It had traveled already to several places before coming here, although we're the first venue east of Kansas.
Okay.
So we've got that. Anyway, they brought it at 3 o'clock one afternoon. They unloaded it and put up part of the thrift store, and the next day we installed the rest of it.
Oh, wow.
So it's how they've done it. The cases are all very well designed and it's very efficient. So this was a basically pain-free exhibit to put up.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So tell us about the dates that it's available and the times.
Okay, so it's going to be here until March the 10th.
Okay.
Our museum is open Monday, Wednesday through Friday from 9 to 5. We're open Tuesdays from 9 to 7. And we're open Saturdays from 10 to 5.
And that'd be perfect for children out of school. Take the children out, start the discussion with them. I mean, it's never too early to start having some of these discussions about race.
But we had that concern because we didn't want to, before we actually saw this exhibit, we were concerned about children seeing it. But actually, I think we may have changed our minds just a little bit because there were children at our opening. And they actually came out with some conversations that made me realize that they understand more than we know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at first we were going to recommend 5th grade and above, but now we're revisiting that. I mean, some children are going to be aware enough to really get it. Okay. And I mean, this is, although we show some offensive things, the material is not offensively presented. The exhibit asks questions. It makes you contemplate on issues. It doesn't condemn anybody. It just says, hey, these things that you may have been collecting, these things you may have seen, did you know that there's this whole other side of interpretation? Mm-hmm. So if you are a collector, then you realize, well, you've actually got a piece of history here. Okay. And it's telling us more. It's not just a cute thing, or really not cute to many people, but I mean, it's not just a thing. It's actually a document of perceptions and opinions and what people think. It documents racism that's been very subtle for a long time. Anyway, but it doesn't just throw it in your face. It really leads you very slowly through and carefully through your own thoughts about this thing. And most people would probably come away and say, "Oh, I hadn't thought of that before. I'm going to think of that now." These things are offensive to many people. I'm glad to know that. You might not have known.
Okay. Yeah. We have a Facebook question. Are there items that the library would not have displayed on the stereotype exhibit? I don't know. Can you expound on that question again a little more, Ms.
Talking about the museum? They say the library, of course, we're the museum.
Okay, I'm sorry. Are there items that library/museum would not have displayed on the... Okay, are there items that may... If something came in that you felt was just overly offensive, would you not have displayed it? That's
a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I'm not really sure. We do have an accession committee that goes over everything that people bring in to donate. And so, this committee makes those decisions. And so, I'm not really sure. There are some things that would probably be pretty offensive if someone brought it to us. Would we put it on display? I'm not really sure.
Well, I think the whole point is that this exhibit, which is on loan to us, we don't own any of these objects.
Okay.
These things are on exhibit for the point of bringing people's attention to the fact that they're offensive.
Okay.
And to know more about the objects and why they're offensive, and what kinds of issues that tells us about our own society and where we can change, where change is needed, where change is desirable. They're offensive because they're racially based caricatures.
Okay. And so that leads us into our next thing, which is the panel discussion centered around this exhibit. So
yes, maybe this panel will bring up some of these issues,
That will be great.
Yeah.
So on February the 6th,
from 5 to 7.
From 5 to 7.
It's a Tuesday.
Yes, we're having a panel discussion, and this discussion will be led by Dr. Sharice Jones Branch.
Oh, she's awesome.
And Dr. Sandra Combs and Dr. Lily Fears.
Okay.
These ladies they know their stuff. They are wonderful panel leaders. They've done this before, and we're really looking forward to what they can provide as far as a panel discussion, leading this discussion for us.
I'm sure they will answer any questions that come their way. I know these ladies individually, and they're fearless.
Yeah,
they are. We love that.
And they're experts in, race relations and other topics of that nature. They have the kind of language that you need to address these things straightforwardly without offense. They are the ideal people to have in charge of this panel discussion.
Okay. And I do want to ask, what prompted you all to say, okay, let's do this? I know, again, you all at the museum are very open to all types of exhibits, and I really applaud you all for bringing them. How did this one come to your attention?
Well, we actually saw it advertised.
Okay.
Because the Kaufman Museum was looking for other venues. So we contacted them and said, what's up with this? We wanted to know more information. And then we were very intrigued with it from the very beginning. And then a very critical step happened. We went to see Dr. Maurice Gibson in the ASTATE Office of Diversity, and we talked to him about it. And we said, so what do you think about this? I mean, what do you think about ASU Museum putting all these racially based stereotypes and caricatures on exhibit? Is this just crazy? And so we talked about it, and we realized, it seems crazy if you don't realize that we're putting a context around it that explains why they're offensive.
Okay.
And he felt it was a very important thing, and it would be very good for our region to have, and we thought so too. And then we had got a committee together, and everyone was on board with it. And so there you are.
All right.
His office is, Dr. Maurice Gibson's office, the Office of Diversity, is actually funding the entire thing. So not only did he endorse it, but he actually funded it, to rent the exhibit and ship it here.
Wow. And one thing I can say about Arkansas State University, you hear news about other universities dealing with race-related issues. You don't hear anything about Arkansas State University. Not that it doesn't happen, but the staff, administration, whoever is so good at their jobs that they keep everything under wraps or try to head it off before it gets out of hand. So shout out to everybody at Arkansas State University that tries to help keep the students in line when it comes to issues like this. And I think the students can really benefit from this, because one day they're going to be away from campus, out in the real world, and facing these issues, and they need to know what's offensive, what's not, or how to approach,
how to deal with it.
Yes.
And how to be conversational, how to be diplomatic. We need these sorts of things in our society for all tough issues.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the stereotypes happen to most everyone. And, at different levels, everyone is judged by something in their life.
Yeah, there's the dumb blondes,
Dumb blondes. Yes,
Yeah.
anything. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, this exhibit does bring that out.
Yes, ma'am.
They bring out the dumb blondes. They really do. And the one thing I love about this exhibit is they talk about how we can turn this around.
That's awesome.
Now, not only do they show us that these things are offensive to some people, but they show us how to turn it around and how to take charge of what you have, like these historic items. What are you going to do with them?
Okay.
And how can we look at them in a positive way and actually put a new light on them and use them in a positive way to go against stereotypism.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe some artists, people that like to work with raw materials can, if they're willing to break up the item, say the ceramics, break them up and then create another piece of art that displays something different.
Yes, well, we're not actually advocating any certain action. We're only making people aware, and what they do with the information is up to them. But we wanted to get the conversation going, and that really is the whole purpose of this.
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, there is an iPad where you can put your comments on whatever you want to say. It's completely anonymous.
Okay.
You write it on the iPad, submit it, and you can vent, you can, get something off your chest. So far, we've actually had really good comments of people saying, I was amazed. This is really happening, and I never thought of it in this way. Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, every comment has been, more like congratulations that we're finally talking about this. And one group that I guess sort of gave a group comment and said they started a conversation they'd never had before among each other. And here they were having this conversation for the first time ever because of this exhibit right in the museum, and it was a conversation they realized they should have been having for a long, long time.
That is really great.
So it's impactful. So it seems to be doing what we hoped it would be, and we're happy and relieved. We were a little bit nervous along the way, but in the end we decided, okay, maybe we're going to be uncomfortable. Okay, we'll just be uncomfortable. That's all there is to it.
It's time for us to start being more uncomfortable about a lot of things.
Yes,
Exactly.
I believe so.
and deal with them head on.
We also want to talk about our next Black History Month event coming up,
Yes, ma'am.
which is Dr. Gabriel Tate. He is going to be talking on his topic is called In Search of a Midwife.
Changing times.
Changing Times, that's right. And that's going to be on February 20th in the museum from 5 to 7. That's also Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And we'll have refreshments for everybody as well.
Yes.
So.
Okay, well, I might have to contact Dr. Gabriel and get him on to discuss
yeah, definitely.
a little bit more about this discussion that he's bringing forth. And so what has he revealed any little details about what made him choose this topic or go in this direction?
No,
I think he finds it interesting.
Yeah.
He, just going into this subject is not a subject that a lot of people have talked about.
Okay.
But the fact that, not so long ago, African American women were not welcomed in some of our hospitals, say St. Bernard's. They didn't have separate wings for them. They couldn't have their babies in the hospital, and the doctors were not paid enough to go to them.
Oh, wow. So this brought on the need for midwives.
Yes.
So midwife, the whole idea around midwives, it has a history that some people probably don't know much about.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so concerning his discussion, you mentioned a little bit off air, giving me a few details. You mentioned her name, Odessa Hale. Can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about her?
Odessa Hale, she was hired in the 1940s to work with the Crittenden County Health Department.
That's out in like West Memphis
Yes,
area.
yes.
Okay.
It's actually in northeast Arkansas.
Okay.
And so she actually was hired to work as a midwife, but she also she was a trainer. She would go in and find these ladies who had been sought out by the women having children, and train them on how to properly do their job. And when she began doing that, the mortality rate went way down.
Okay.
Babies were born alive. Babies were kept alive. Moms, their health, was better, because not only were they delivering these babies, but they were checking up on the moms and seeing what they were eating, and that sort of thing, taking care of them basically. And so, because she and others like her came into this area and began training these midwives, things got better. It just instantly got better.
All right, so everyone, please mark your calendars for this event. You don't want to miss out on this discussion. I don't even know all the details, and I'm already interested. February 20th. What time again, please?
From 5 to 7.
5 to 7. And this is In Search of a Midwife, Changing Times. Okay? And given by Dr. Gabriel Tate. And that's Tait if you want to look him up and find out some more information concerning this event. So you'll have a lot going on, a lot to look forward to.
This is a big month for us. Yeah, it's very exciting. All these topics are very intriguing. We have just really enjoyed learning about midwifery. That's how it's pronounced. I learned. I was saying midwifery, but it's midwifery. And, racial stereotyping and other stereotyping. So we've got important issues going on at ASU Museum this month.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. I can't thank you enough for bringing such enriching exhibits and events to Arkansas State University. And I hope that all staff and students really appreciate the work that you put into this. I'm sure it's not, okay, here's an exhibit, let's just get it, put it up. There's a lot of thought that goes into who is our target audience, how are they going to receive it, just a whole lot of logistics that goes into this. So we have like 2.5 minutes, so I want to give you this time to recap on the dates and times of all of these events.
Okay, for the very next thing that's coming up is our panel discussion about the Sorting Out Race exhibit, which is being directed or led by Dr. Sharice Jones-Branch, Dr. Lily Fears, and Dr. Sandra Combs at ASU Museum, February 6th from 5 to 7 in our auditorium. And the next event will be February 20th, also a Tuesday from 5 to 7. This is Dr. Gabriel Tate talking about In Search of a Midwife, Changing Times.
Okay. Now, is he a professor at Arkansas State?
Yes, he is.
What does he teach?
He's in the communications department, and he's a photographer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a chance to meet his wife. She works for the city, well, not the city, but she works for the MPO, Metropolitan Planning Organization. Okay.
Now, we should say there's also a whole lot of other Black History Month celebrations going on at ASU this month.
All over campus.
You'll need to get Dr. Yvette Allen in here because she can give you the whole roundup.
All right, so Dr. Allen, anyone from the Multicultural Center, I'm going to be calling on you.
That's right.
All right, so thank you all so very much for coming out today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for braving this cold.
Thanks, Kabila.
And please go out to see this exhibit. Our station manager, Lagenzi Kell, got a chance to go, and he said he truly, truly enjoyed it. He was going to try to be here to join in the discussion, but he had some other things to do.
Well, I think y'all are planning to come out and live stream this panel discussion.
Yes, he is.
So that'll be great.
So those who don't want to brave the cold, we pray the weather's not as cold then, but those who are not able to get out, you will still get a chance to take part in the discussion. So you're tuned in to Community Conversations. This is an abbreviated day. Tomorrow, join us again at 9 a.m. I'll be here. If it doesn't snow or ice, pray nothing else happens the rest of this week. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a great, great day.